Hey guys, what it do? I guess you guys must have missed my face because yesterday we ain't got no video, you know what I'm saying? But hey, what it do? Today I want to talk about Historia. I love Historia, man. Shout out, she's waifu, bro. She like best girl on top of our best girl that makes our best girl even a better girl because she is OP. Bro, we love Historia, bro. Her story is one of the most intriguing part about Attack on Titan season 2 and 3. Now, spoilers alert, obviously. This is only for the people that know from season 1 to season 3, goddamn it. If you ain't watching yet, boy, what are you doing? This is the GOAT anime. Afro Senju agrees with me, bro. He's a Senju, I'm an Uchiha, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm Supreme Uchiha, the god. He's Afro Senju, the demigod. You know what I'm saying? He got Afro, I got blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. And he agrees with me. We don't agree on shit. We already know the Senju and Uchiha been fighting for yonkers. You know what I'm saying? And yet he agrees with me that Attack on Titan might be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? After season 4, we gonna see. That's gonna be the nail in the coffin. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's gearing up to being the GOAT. And I just want to talk about Historia and how phenomenal her character arc is. You know what I'm saying? So we meet her quite early, and the plan, like the way the author plants seeds in this goddamn like anime is phenomenal, bro. It's beyond belief. Like really, in season 1, when they're doing training and shit like that, and Sasha isn't allowed to eat, guess who feeds her? It's Historia. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, okay. And then you see what's her name? Ymir, whatever. You know the girl that likes her. You know what I'm saying? And you see the relationship begins then. But Historia is the one that brings the food. And Ymir's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you trying to get in trouble? But Historia sticks to her gun. You know what I'm saying? And from that, there's just little bits. And it's like everybody, even like Rainer is like, damn, bro, like, I need to marry this woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rainer is about to abandon his whole ass mission for the sake of Historia. He's that obsessed with Historia. Like, he's like, man, I need this woman, bro. I need this woman. You know what I'm saying? It is, it's just beautiful. And then obviously we get the flashback when they were training in the snow, and she refused to let go of one of the guys who got sick and who passed out. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, tied him up, dragged him. Solo dolo. She ain't care if she died. You know what I'm saying? And now, this is the interesting part about her because, you know, as Ymir says, it's like, yo, and like, you know what I'm saying? So Ymir is like, yo, like you being selfish, like, you know what I'm saying? If you really wanted to save this motherfucker, why didn't you ask me for help? Because you know dragging him this slow, you ain't gonna make it out there. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna make it out there if you're moving this slow? And you ain't even think of asking me for help one time? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like in Historia's defense, even though she might also kind of feel like maybe I am selfish and I just want the attention, but in her defense, she probably didn't want to drag anybody else down with her suicide mission, because what we got to understand about Historia is she has a crazy parental relationship. You know what I'm saying? So she grew up like ostracized or whatever. I don't speak English, bro. She grew up basically like ignored and left alone. Her mother, supposed mother, hated her. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely hated her. Just didn't want to talk to her. Nothing. Now, what's interesting as well is, again, this is how they plant seeds. They talk about how she learned how to read. But who taught her how to read? They never said it. It's like, who taught her how to read? Because her mother didn't even want to see her. Didn't want to talk to her. They didn't want to be near this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And the papa was never really around because he's a king. King nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? He got to rule from the underground scenes. Now, what's beautiful is we discover that her sister, her half-sister, was pulling up there all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, reading with her, talking to her, but she had to keep wiping her memory. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it was, you know, she couldn't know that, like, that's where she's from, that she's royalty, and all those secrets, because obviously not only will it get her put her in harm's way, but it's also just not a safe option. You know what I'm saying? So that's the beautiful thing about it. When she does learn how to read from the sister, you know what I'm saying, and she tries to have a conversation about what she read with her mother, or tries to even hold the mother like shoves her out the way, like makes her bleed and shit, but she's happy from that because damn it, finally my mother's giving me some love, some attention. and that's the thing about it. And her dad abandoning her, but not really abandoning her. Like, you can tell that her dad genuinely cares about her, but at the same time he's so like hurt and manipulated and so like distorted because of just everything that's been happening from his childhood all the way up. Him watching his brother die, watching his dad die, we're just seeing everybody just, and the culture of it, the obsession of like, okay, let's hand over the next founding titan to whoever is next, and feeling like, okay, but that person has to be able to overcome the grandfather, because they all believed that what was happening in the city, in the confinement was wrong. They all believed that they needed to control the founding titan and stop the whole titan thing. But they were, I don't, you know what happens is, like, when you're so confined into a certain hole or into a certain circle, it's very hard to break out of that consciousness. It's like being in a cult, right? And the thing is, these cult followers believed in something different, but they weren't willing to think outside of those sphere, you know what I'm saying? So they were like, okay, next person. And when the brother tried and failed to control the founding titans, the great great grandfather's will, or the grandfather's will, it was like, shit, golly, like, what do we do? Then it was like the sister's turn, she flopped too. Well, it looked like she might have not flopped, but she just turned to the founding titan and was not accustomed to being a titan and got finessed by Aaron's dad. You know what I'm saying? And the beautiful part about that is Historia's interpretation of all those scenarios and events. You know what I'm saying? She realizes, I don't know if she even realizes it, but it's like, she's like, you know what? I'm not willing to kill this person for that. You know what I'm saying? I am not willing to sacrifice him just so I can be a titan and I can be a founding titan, so I can fall in the goddamn same hole that everybody else fell into. And that's another beautiful part about Attack on Titan, how it was written. So it's like, when Erwin decides to betray the king and all of them, you can see that he has a point, because I think he also realizes that, like, if this curse exists, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think he ever got to find out about the curse. But if that curse exists, the only way to break it is by having a non-family member to take over the Titan. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, really beautiful. And Historia's decision to say, you know what, Dad, you spineless. You've been spineless. I've been looking for your approval all my life, and I was so happy to finally get it. But now I see that you literally just a puppet. You're somebody that's controlled by this culture, this mentality that's, you should have known is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what happened to you. Why are you making me drink this and do it? Why don't you do it? You know what I'm saying? So what does she end up doing? She flips that nigga, bro. Like, hey, you have to remember, she been in the Servant Corps. She been out here doing business. You know what I'm saying? Flip that nigga, bah, drop that nigga. 1-2, went and saved Eren Yeager, man. Beautiful, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Also, another introspective and beautiful part is when Ymir turns into a Titan, and she just, she's like, you know what? I don't care. That's still my friend. It doesn't matter if everybody turns against her. I will not let her die. You know what I'm saying? And she stands in defense as alongside her other friends. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Con. I'm just calling Con. You know what I'm saying? And all the guys that were like, you know what? We're gonna stay here. And the beautiful part is as well, we also see hints there when they're in that tower and it's collapsing and Ymir is a titan and protecting them. When it's collapsing, you see Bertrand about to bite his hand. You know what I'm saying? He's like ready to bite his hand, and then the guy say, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The fact that, like, all these hints, there's so many points. Even when Annie apologizes for the death of Marco, you're like, why is she apologizing? I wonder that. And the beautiful thing about it is when you rewatch it, you really see all these hints, and the author really gives you every clue you need to so that when a surprise happens, it's not like, oh my god, like, this is stupid. Nah, it's like the hints were there. Everything is layered. That's what you call good ass storytelling. Now back to Historia. Now remember, Historia also kinda knew that I think she realized, maybe when like Annie was found out, I think she realized that Ymir was probably a Titan, because again in the flashback we see that, Ymir shoved Historia into a tree, and then snow fell on her, and then she took the body that they were that Historia refused to let go of, and even told her, look, you can go back and go on your own, but I'm gonna drag this body no matter what, no matter, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna do it. Ymir turned into a Titan, jumped down that goddamn hill with the body, turned back into human, and dragged the body over. You know what I'm saying? And then she waited for Historia because she knew like Historia walking by herself would survive, and she did not want Historia to die. And that relationship is just beautiful, man. It's like they're both so different. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that like Historia being such a beautiful soul and such a kind-hearted person, and then Ymir being kind of cold but like loving Historia so much that she's willing to convert herself and willing to do things that even she's normally not really down with. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful, man. Beautiful, bro. And I love Historia for just those things, bro. Like, and then one of the best scenes is when she tells Erwin, Erwin's like, nah, you gonna be a queen, so like there's no way, we're gonna allow you to go into battle, because we need you to be in charge of the nation, because that's the smartest thing we can do. Because if we just become a police state, people are gonna look at us like we just did a coup to take the power for ourselves. But if we put the rightful queen back in charge, then it feels like, okay, these guys actually are just doing legit shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's beautiful. And then she's like, yo, I need to hit the final blow. I need to show them that I'm different from those cowards. I need to show them that I'm out here with y'all. You know what I'm saying? In fact, that's the only way she accepted being queen. She was like, I'll only do it if I get to be on the front line with y'all. I want to fight too. I want to be proud of this. And at that moment, she's not even suicidal, but she's just thinking different. She saw how her dad ended up being a coward that could have done something about a lot of things and just refused to because he was afraid. And she didn't want to be that person. You know what I'm saying? She already lost Ymir. Ymir already went with the enemies. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, you know what? I'm going to stay out here, bro. I'm going to do this. And then she said, you know what? She jumps up and catches the body. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that hits the final blow on Bertrand. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man. I just love everything about Attack on Titan. And if you don't watch Attack on Titan, bro, and subscribe. Obviously, subscribing is a little bit more important. Nah, I'm sorry, bro. Actually, bro, watch Attack on Titan first, bro, because it's golden, bro. It's golden. It's so good, bro. Anyway, guys, that's my little chat on Historia. I know it's super energetic because I just love talking about Attack on Titan. Whenever I'm talking about Attack on Titan, I'm like a 5-year-old kid that's eating like 59,000 candies, bro. I'm just that hyped up, man. It's been your boy, Supremacy of the God. That's Historia. I love Historia. Waifu material, and I ain't even a waifu type nigga. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to like, make sure to leave a comment, and all that gang shit. Season 4, man. I can't wait for you. God damn it. I'm out.